Hello YouTube, Dave here again. Today I thought it'd be kind of cool to look through a little bit of the Pathfinder 2nd Edition Bestiary. If you want me to do sort of a full flip through and look at all of the creatures included, I can certainly do that. But for today I kind of wanted to look at just sort of my 5 favorite creatures that are in this particular book. So like I said, if you want to see a full flip through, then please let me know in the comments below. I'll be more than happy to do that. This book was sent to me by Paizo for the purposes of doing reviews and helping to spread awareness of the new 2nd edition for Pathfinder. And I haven't really focused a lot on it yet, so I'd like to be able to do at least a couple videos on the Bestiary separately before I sort of get to my final review, which I'm still trying to sort of formulate my thoughts and be able to articulate them properly. So that video is going to be up by the end of this week, so it should be up in just a couple of days. But for now, let's just take a look at my top 5, and this is just going to be like no particular order, but just 5 of my favorite creatures that I found in here so far. So the first one that we're going to go to is actually in the section for demons. And one thing I will say that I do like about this particular book is it has the sort of listings for like the alphabetical entries. So you have like A to C, then the monsters with letter D, then E to G, H to K, L to N, O to R, S to T, and then U to Z. And if you look on the pages there, you can see a bit of a separation. So that's just one of those things that can make it kind of easier to find the section that you want to get to. So I want to get into the D section. And here we go, right here. So I just apologize for the glare, it's just the overhead light. But in Pathfinder 2nd Edition, and I don't know if they had this in 1st Edition or not, because I actually don't own any of the bestiaries for that, since I only was intending to play it as a player. But they have this creature. This is one of the first things that when I opened the book up for the very first time, this was one of the first creatures that I really saw. And this is a Kakko Demon, or Kakko Demon is what they refer to it here as. So I guess, sorry, it's the Daemon section, not the demons, but this is just so cool. So the Kakko Demon, or Kakko Demon, this is obviously very heavily inspired by the creature of a very similar name in the Doom video games. And what's kind of interesting is that the Doom video games were themselves partially inspired by tabletop role-playing games. So the fact that a tabletop RPG inspired Doom, and then, you know, all these years later, you have a creature sort of from the Doom franchise being a source of inspiration for something in the Pathfinder game, I think is really, really, really cool. This is a different size creature, so they give it this like a tiny size instead of like the large, like, you know, like almost like beholder-sized creatures that we had in the Doom game. But at the same time, you look at the art, it looks very inspired by the Doom creature, and Kakko Demons are just kind of awesome anyway. So to have them in here was something I thought was really, really cool. So I was really, really happy to see that. So the next creatures that I like to kind of draw attention to is going to be the dragons from Pathfinder 2nd Edition. And so I will honestly say that, again, I've never owned any of the monster books for Pathfinder. Let's just zoom out here. Prior, so I'm not really familiar with the way that they depict their dragons, but I have to say, as soon as I saw this black dragon, I was on board. So black dragons are probably my favorite overall. I just always liked the way that they looked, even when they were sort of kind of, I don't want to say goofy, but kind of cartoony looking in the 2nd edition AD&D Monsters Manual. I still really loved black dragons, and to me this one just looked absolutely awesome. It doesn't have the skeletal features on its face like the Dungeons and Dragons one does, but I love like the horns, all the way that they, you know, the several horns that they have coming out. I just love the artwork in this is just awesome. You got sort of like the fins coming off of the arms. Just stuff that sort of lends to this being a partially aquatic creature, and it just looks so cool. I just absolutely love the art style for this. And honestly, overall, all the dragons, you know, they're different than what I'm used to, but I think they all look really, really good. So the Black Dragon is again probably once again one of my favorites. But we got the Green Dragon there. I love Green Dragons as well, and like with the massive horns there, just again really, really cool looking stuff there. Now, one thing about this particular bestiary is that it only does provide 3 age categories for each of the dragon types. However, I suspect that other books will come out that will greatly expand on that, like there may be like a dragon-based book that comes out, or just in other bestiaries. So I'm sure we'll see plenty of other age categories and other information for the dragons as well. The reason that I think that this is done is it's just for the ease of being able to use them. Trying to create dragons from like the charts and all the stuff that we've had in other versions of like the D&D role-playing game, for example. Especially with the D20 system, the 3.0 OGL, they were kind of a pain to put together. So I think that sort of the trade-off of the convenience of just having, you know, spaced out versions of them that you can use at low, mid, and high level is sort of like the trade-off that I'm looking for there. But it also, again, will open the door to have other age categories in other books. So there's cool stuff there. So that is our green dragon. And then we've got the red dragon, and that red dragon, oh, we'll just pan up a little bit here, and this red dragon looks awesome. I have to say I really, really love this artwork. It might be, if it's not my favorite looking red dragon, it's probably like 2 or 3 up there. So it's very high on my list of favorite looking red dragons. It just looks so menacing with all the horns sort of sweeping back, almost looking like a you know, evil looking crown kind of thing. And just really, really awesome art there. Love that. And then we have our white dragon, which is again another, just the dragon art in this book I think is absolutely fantastic. Just another really nice looking dragons there. You got sort of like the membranes going between the horns there, which is kind of neat looking. Just really, really cool. And then we get our metallic dragons. So we got our brass dragon, which look nice. The young bronze dragon, I actually really like this one. Again, you know, where it's an aquatic creature, has sort of a very like serpentine look to it, very like sea creature kind of appearance. So I think they did a really, really good job, you know, making the dragons look like they belong in the environments that they're supposed to be a part of. Then the copper dragon. And then this one I really, really love. So this is the gold dragon from the Pathfinder game. And I like this version of the gold dragon. It just looks more menacing and sort of regal than what we have in like the Dungeons & Dragons game, where the gold dragon has this very sort of like Asian design to it, which doesn't look bad by any means. It's you know, it's a nice looking dragon as well, but of the two, I kind of just prefer, like, I like this version a little bit better. I just think it looks a little more intimidating and a little more, I guess, deserving of being like the most, it looks like the form that one of the most powerful dragons in the game could possibly take. So, really, really cool stuff there. And then, like the red dragon, it takes up a little bit more room for its stat blocks. But then we've got the silver dragon. The silver dragon is probably, it's nice looking, but it's probably my least favorite of all the ones that are in here. But it's still, you know, a decent looking dragon and really, really nice art. But overall, I like their interpretations of, you know, of the dragons in general. I think that they've done a really, really good job with that. So really, really cool stuff there. So that was sort of my second creature type that I wanted to allude to or show some stuff for. So we got those. Up next, oh, just quickly, the little fairy dragon, that looks pretty cool as well. So up next, we're going to have to skip ahead just a little bit because I'm just sort of doing these in the order that I remember them. Oh, we did go too far. Hold on. There we go. So up next are the kobolds. And I just love these kobolds. I don't know, there's just something about the way that they design them. They kind of have like this almost salamander look to them. Just very, very lizard-like, I guess, but just really, really cool looking. And we got this one here. This is the Kobold Scout with his short sword and his crossbow. And again, just like the look on his face there. I don't know, I just really love the kobolds. And they also have them here as well. So they actually made the front cover. So you got like this would be the Dragon Mage, I think they're called. Yeah. So this is the Dragon Mage. This is sort of just your basic Kobold Warrior, and then you got your Scout down there, which is pretty cool. So love the way that they did the kobolds in here as well. Again, just some really, really cool stuff. And then up next, so this is probably one of the coolest ones in here, in my opinion. So for those who know me or have seen some of my previous stuff, I'm a huge fan of H.P. Lovecraft, and I have several collections of his stories. I'm almost positive that I have every story that he's written, spread throughout the probably like dozen books of his like collections of his short stories. But this is the Showgoth. And again, just a really, really awesome creature. If you read the Mountains of Madness story, which is one of his best, in my opinion, this was sort of the creature that was in that particular short story. So again, really, really cool stuff there. Just awesome artwork. It very much has that sort of Lovecraftian vibe, where just there doesn't seem to be anything. It's like it's a natural creature, but there's nothing natural about it, sort of thing. Just really, really awesome stuff there. So, all right, yeah. So the other creature that I really, really liked was the Golems. So they've got several different Golems in the Pathfinder or in the Bestiary here. So you have like the Flesh Golem, which is sort of what they're showing here. Am I still zoomed in? No, I'm not. Okay. So we got the Flesh Golem, which is really, really cool looking, but my favorite one has to be this alchemical golem. It's kind of like, you know, the brain in a jar, but it's got like just this like wooden body. It's got syringes for its fingers, and it delivers attacks that way. Just a really, really fun, just kind of cool idea that I really, really love. The other golems look cool as well. You got like the clay golem and the stone golem there. So some nice stuff. The adamantine golem just looks like a giant walking furnace. And then you got the iron golem there, which is kind of cool looking as well. So really, really cool stuff, but man, it's hard to beat that alchemical golem. Just really, really awesome. So those are sort of my 5 favorite, although I kind of cheated with the dragons. But those are my 5 favorite creatures from the Pathfinder 2nd Edition Bestiary so far. Just sort of an idea of some of the different things that you can find in here. So again, if you want to see me do a complete flip through of the entire book and just go through page by page, let me know that as well in the comments below. I'd be more than happy to do that. This is a... how many pages is in this book? This is a 350 some odd page book, so there's a lot to sort of go through, which is why I decided just to sort of pick my top 5 so far. But there's some really, really awesome stuff in this book, and I like the art. There's a lot of creatures in here that we've seen before in other games, but I just like the way that they present them in this one a lot. The dragons, like I said, look really, really great. The only one that I would say was sort of kind of meh to me was the silver dragon, but the rest were just all pretty incredible, actually. You can't go wrong with a brain in a jar that has you know, like syringes for fingers, and a wooden sticks lashed together to make its body. It's awesome stuff there. The kobolds look, again, really, really cool. You can see them there. And you got, you know, a little video game reference with the Kakko Demon as well, a play on the Kakko Demon. So some really, really cool stuff in here. So let me know if you want to see the full flip through. I'd be more than happy to do that. And also, let me know in the comments below, what are some of your favorite creatures from the Pathfinder 2nd Edition Bestiary? I showed you some of mine. I'd love to hear what some of yours are. So thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time. Take care.